everyone, it's Birth Reorg, and I'm here in this round review for Devil's Double Next Level, the new film directed by S. Premanand and starring Sandhanam in the lead role. Now, Sandhanam has created a horror comedy franchise with the Dilugudutta series. The first three films were pretty profitable for him, and I felt like the third film was really creative. It was almost like a Tamil cinema version of Saw with a horror comedy genre type of vibe to it. The second half of that movie was pretty jolly and a fun ride, and even though it wasn't a laugh-out-loud riot, I still had a good time, and I appreciated that film's effort in trying something different with the horror comedy genre in Tamil cinema. And this film as well is a little bit different than your usual horror comedy genre film that you usually see in Tamil cinema. They're kind of ripping off the idea that they used in Last Action Hero with characters jumping into the movie universe that they see on screen. Now, personally, I felt like this movie was really weak outside of that different concept. This is supposed to be a comedy film, but it's not funny. And it is very dull, very lackluster, and very middling in terms of its jokes. Now, one of the big plot points about this film is that this film is kind of criticizing online reviewers who are pretty much giving bad reviews on purpose or vengeful reviews where they're talking about a person's personal life and saying horrible things outside of the actual story of the film or the production values of the movie. I think that's wrong as well. I think that you should never go deep into a person's life outside of the film in terms of giving critiques or negative criticism towards a certain film. If you don't like a film, cool, that's okay. I give a lot of bad reviews for certain films as well. But I'll never say that, this person is dumb or this person is not capable of making a good film. Because again, there's a lot of circumstances that make a movie go bad sometimes, in your personal opinion. Sometimes, the director's going through a tough time in their personal life. Maybe they're pushed to the limit and they have to meet a production date of release. There's a lot of films that are rushed to a date, and that's why the film feels rushed or bad, or, the editing might be bad, or the performances might be flat because, maybe there's no chemistry between the characters, or maybe the person's forced into this film for, contractual reasons. There's a lot of different reasons why someone might give a bad film. And I feel like this movie is a very lackluster film, but maybe there are some unforeseen circumstances because of the film's quality. And, even though I give this film a 4 out of 10, I'm sure there might be some other, external circumstances as to why this movie is the weakest out of the whole series. Personally, it did not work for me. I think it's a very unfunny film. For a comedy movie, it is very lackluster. Yes, it's a different concept, but to be honest with you, I feel like Sandhanam has to become a comedian or supporting actor again, because if these are the solo films that he's doing, they're very weak.